I have been a really bad man. I've let myself and my second favourite Italian, Malcolm, down. Why? Well, as I was preparing to do month-end cleaning of the Loring, I realised that I have failed to do a really important part. For some reason, I've skipped it or just forgot about it. And what is it? Every 2 to 6 months, I should be cleaning the cooler fan. And I think it's probably been, 9 months. So guess what we're gonna do now? Yes, we're gonna clean the cooler fan together. So what is the cooler fan? Well, its job is to essentially drag ambient air through the cooling tray. What does the cooling tray do? Well, that cools roasted coffee that has come out of the roasting chamber. When the beans come out there, they are very hot, 200 plus degrees Celsius, and we need to get those to room temperature as quickly as we can, ideally within 4 minutes. The efficacy of that is driven by how well the fan works. The fan works best when it's clean, and as per the Loring user manual, I should be doing that every 2 to 6 months, dependent on my throughput. We roast about 600 or 700 kilos of green coffee every single week. And that means that I'm likely to need to clean the fan every 6 months based on that throughput. Now, as I mentioned, I completely forgot to do it. So this is what we're going to do now. This is the cooler fan. Inside of here, there's a radial fan. This is the motor that drives that. And it spins and pulls air through the system, through the belly of the roaster. I'll show you where. So that motor and radial fan is affixed to this orange tubing here, and it drags air through the cooler tray into this pipe here and then up and out. There are going to be debris and deposits that are put into here. I've already done that cleaning. I do that every single month, again linked to the output, but the thing that I should be doing is cleaning this radial fan. So what have I got to do? I've got to remove that. This is pretty heavy. I've got to take off a cable. And I suppose whilst I'm cleaning the radial fan, I'll also clean the housing as well. And if I'm cleaning the housing, I should really give the pipe work, that thing up there, a bit of a clean as well. I will use some chimney rods in order to do that. So let's get started and see how bad this is. So before attempting any of this, make sure that the machine is switched off at the mains and that you've got the right tools. This is an American brand, and of course they use imperial sizes. We use metric here, mostly in the UK. So to get these off, this is a 1/2 inch socket, just for interest's sake. First then I need to remove the power, which is just a push fit cable that you unscrew and pull out that side. Now then, let's get this off. So I've loosened all of the bolts. Now I'm going to get a little pot to put those in. Cupping bowls come in handy. Nut and washer. Right, that's all the nuts off. Be mindful that this is really heavy. I mean, heavy for a scrawny man like me. So let's take a look now. I'm going to slide this off. Okay, there's a gasket there that I don't want to break. Whoa. And there you have it. Do you know, that's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. But obviously well worth a clean. Let's do that. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to show you the inside. Right, I've got a nifty little light. Let's show you the inside. There you go. That's inside of the impeller housing. That was the aperture there from which the orange tube, well, that is the orange tube, and the airflow spins around here and up there. So my job now is to clean all this out, and I'll do that with what Loring described as restaurant grade hot water. So that's 60 degrees Celsius or 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's do that. Rubber gloves. Actually, before I do that, I'm just going to hoover it out. That's a wise thing to do. Let's carefully carefully remove this gasket. Okay, gasket off. And still intact, I think. I don't want to damage that. I do have a spare of these. When I bought the machine, I got the extended service pack, and I'm aware that one of these is in there, but you know, I don't like to damage things if I don't have to. I thought I'd just scrape off. Can you see that? That's the stuff. That is oils that have come off the coffee beans and deposited on the inside of that impeller housing. And this stuff can really gunk up your machine, which is why you've got to clean it more regularly than I have done. So I have just used this in order to get that off, but I'm not going to use a scraping tool yet. First, I'm going to get that hot water and I'm going to soak it, but being very careful that behind this housing is all the electrics and various other gubbins. So I don't want to get it too wet, but I need to get it wet enough in order for this to basically dissolve in the hot water. Rubber gloves are on. I'll show you once again what I'm doing. I've got to get all of that gunk off now. So first, super hot water. So hot it's going to burn my fingers. Oh, good God. Wipe in here, making sure that I don't get anything on the electrics, the gas lines and all the other gubbins that are underneath. Do you know what I might do? I might go get a tea towel. All right, there you go. Top engineering tip. Tea towels across the sensitive things. So one hopes that they will catch any of the spills, if there are any, and absorb the stuff before it goes on the electrics. Good job I've not got any client meetings today, because I think I'm gonna be super mucky at the end of the day. Ah, damn it. I know what I haven't got. I need a paint stripping knife. That's what I need. Yes, that's what Malcolm had last time. Right, let's get to the DIY store and I'll complete this a bit later. Well, that was a useful little haul. Got myself a brand new sponge. That won't be brand new for long. This paint stripping brush, a 60mm one, but really useful. A little paint kettle. Why? Because I can actually hold that up near the piece of kit. But look at this. Okay, they're only cheap, but these are the same as that, but plastic. Now, if it's plastic, it means so long as there's enough resistance, if it's plastic, it means that you're not likely to scrape. Sit rep, it's now 10:30. I've been doing this for 3 hours. So, where I thought I was going to be doing the cooling tray ducting, I think I might have to bail because I've got an appointment this afternoon. So, next is, after this little break, I'm going to clean the radial fan. I've got to scrape a lot of stuff off. I've got to probably soak it in water for long enough so I can actually clean the impeller part. So let's have a go at that. Well, some number of hours later, we're probably talking, what time is it? 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 7:30 a.m. start, 4 o'clock finish with a few little hiatus. What a long day. But the motor, the radial motor, is now back on the machine, and all that's left to do is testing whether the thing works. So let's get the power to the Loring on. No electric shock, so that is a really good start. Power to the machine on. There is power, another amazing feat. So everything on the machine seems to be working. There are no warning signs or errors, which means that the electrical connection should be working. So when I press this button, fingers crossed, the fan goes. Yes! There is air going through. I'd say that that was a mild success. Let's tell you what I learned today. Number one is to do this stuff more often. Don't wait 12 months. If it says every 2 to 6 months, do it every 2 to 6 months. The reason being is because it won't take you quite as long. And that leads me to budget for more time. I thought I was going to give myself maybe 4 hours to do this work, and it's taken all day. So much so that the thing I had already planned or I had pre-planned to do in the afternoon, I didn't do because I needed to get this finished. Make sure that you dress appropriately as well. Not that I have any best clothes, but these are now really dirty. Have the right tools. Message me in the comments and I'll let you know the type of tools that you'll need to do this work, but it will tell you in here. And if you had purchased the extended parts catalogue, you should also have all the bits for the Loring as well. Also, maybe try and avoid doing this type of work, the dirty work where you've got to be scraping all the time in the summertime, because it's hot work. I am a hot, sticky mess. And on that note, I will end. I hope that the video has been somewhat informative. I'm going to do more of these types of things where I go through the fairly mundane process of cleaning your roaster, but some of you might find it interesting to see the innards of a Loring S15 Falcon. And as usual, if you ever pick up a bag of coffee that I roasted, I hope you enjoy. You have a great day.